Hey everyone, welcome to another issue of Jay and Bax's Expensive Paper. Excited to have you with us on this lovely Friday. Tonight we've got a special guest with us. Her name is Lee Rags, and she is an incredible artist. So we'll be talking about her journey, looking at her art. Jay's going to be showing some videos and talking about the commission that he had done. So make sure to stay tuned.
And if you don't follow her, make sure you click that button on IG at Alleyway Arts. She's super talented. She just have a variant cover for a very funny book, funny, that we'll talk about too. So stay tuned and let's get rolling.
Let's do it.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Welcome
Hi.
to the show.
I'm so happy to be here.
We're happy to have you.
You're happy to have you. And I think I said backstage, but I think you're the first artist we've had who's actually doing a live drawing. So this is very exciting. We get to see the process. Not just
Yay.
in some videos, but we get to see it live. So
I
really
know.
stoked
This is
about that.
awesome.
I am too. I'm really happy to hold that title here.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and let's zoom in on the art and put our faces down below.
Yeah.
So right now I'm coloring in this drawing from a character from the most recent variant cover I just did, respectfully called Florida Hippopotamus Cocaine Massacre. So
And what's that about?
So if you couldn't tell by the title, it is about the title itself. I don't want to say it too many times because I have found out that some people will say it and their accounts get nuked. So trying to keep it easy for you guys. But I think it's a very funny comic. I just picked up a foil copy of it at Free Comic Book Day. It doesn't pretend to be anything serious, and I appreciate that. The character I'm drawing right here is Clark, Nebraska, the main character.
Yeah. And you did a variant cover for it, right?
Yeah, and it featured Clark on it, and she was riding backwards on a hippo, and there was gunfire going, and Fred, the author of the comic, he even said he loved it so much, and he said that the hippo looked coked up, which I thought was really funny when he said that.
A nice compliment.
Yeah, it's like that's the first time I ever thought that would be a compliment towards my artwork.
Yeah. We'll see that cover. We have a picture for it later. But why don't we just start at the very beginning? How did you get started in this journey with art and comics? And
Well, I feel like in order to talk about that, I have to talk about the story that my grandfather will never not talk about. The first drawing I ever did was on his wall. So he constantly boasts about that. But I started, I drew a lot throughout my childhood, and I just really liked, getting construction paper and some crayons and just, doodling. And then around fifth grade, I started really starting to draw comics. And the thing was is that I grew up around comics. I had a family that was just into all kinds of different comics and more nerdier media. My grandfather, he used to watch me on the weekends a lot, and he would let me watch Green Lantern and Hellboy and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies, not the new ones but the old ones where they're in the suits and stuff. And and around fifth grade I just started you know doing little strips and stuff. And then I don't know, I think at a certain point I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to do comics. And around seventh grade I started hanging up strips in the classroom, and people really liked them, so I just kind of continued from there. And I had the wonderful opportunity last year to do my first ever variant cover, which was amazing.
That is so awesome.
Thank you.
And what was that experience like doing a variant?
Oh my
Walk us through
gosh.
that.
It was awesome. I was so stoked. Basically, I got this variant through Tennessee comic collector Cliff. He has his own little retail exclusive variants, and he had been following me for a bit. And then one day he just hit me up and said, I really like this drawing you did. Would you want to do a variant, or have you ever done variant covers before? And I was like, no, I haven't ever done variant covers before. And he was like, well, I want to get you to do one. And it was a process because it was for the Pale Knight, and it was the Grim Reaper. It's pinned on my profile. And basically, I did the pencils and inks, and then I go to Cliff and I'm like, well, I've done the pencils and inks. How do they need it sent over so they can get colored? And he was like, oh, well, how are you going to color it? And I was like, what do you mean how I'm going to color it? And he's like, well, how are you going to color it? And I was like, I guess digitally. I was not expecting to color it, but I ended up coloring it. And that was the first ever variant cover I did. It was a virgin cover, and it was done entirely by me.
Awesome.
That's
Thank you.
awesome.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
It was I think it was released October of last year, but I started it in June. So it was a bit of a process, just mainly because they had a little bit of a schedule on how they were releasing their copies. I believe it was a re-release of issue 1.
Okay. How did the deadlines work?
So this one was a little bit looser, the first one I did, because it wasn't going to re-release until October, so we had a little time. But this recent one I did with the Florida Hippos, that one it turned into a situation where Cliff came to me and he said, I need this, but we have to get it done in like 2 weeks. So that was
No stress or
hectic.
anything.
Oh yeah. During your finals, no stress, just like go ahead, get it done. And but I was so excited to work on it. When he came to me and said he wanted me working on that title, I knew I was going to have so much fun with it.
Nice. And what's your application of choice for coloring digitally?
I use Photoshop digitally,
Okay.
and it's just because since I work as a graphic designer in my day job, it just makes it a little bit easier. But I also think it works pretty well. You can download a lot of brushes and stuff to make it work easier.
Mhm.
I would someday like to do one traditionally and see how that turns out. It's just my concern is like scanning it and stuff. It can, the colors can get a little messed up there.
Sure.
Because and you'll see with my commission, I love layering colors and making them super bright and colorful.
Mhm. Yeah, that can be tough too, even like seeing how the color translates from monitor to monitor. Like the colors can be way
Exactly.
off if you're not calibrated
Yeah,
right.
that was gonna be my question. How, from the moment that you're creating something digitally for one of these variant covers, you have a color in
Mhm.
mind, and you're applying it based off of your monitor and your resolution. But when you send it, how does it translate to the finished product? Is it pretty
So
accurate, or?
usually the colors are thrown a little off, not by the monitor, but more the printing. And it's usually just because you're taking something that was colored digitally and then applying it to paper. And like no print is exact to one another. So it can mess it up a little bit. But I would say that I've never seen it where it's like, oh my gosh, this is so off, right? It's just sometimes I can notice it can be a little darker or a little lighter. So in my newest variant, I kind of took accounting for that, and tried to make it where it was a little bit lighter, because I knew when it got printed, it'll saturate itself. So that is something that I recommend to artists to keep in mind, is that the paper is going to maybe make your work look a little bit more, I guess bolder is a better term to use.
Yeah, it's really interesting when that happens. I know we were kind of talking backstage about how I started my career out working for a printing company,
Hmm.
and I dabbled a little bit in Photoshop and had some stuff printed for internal projects, and it was always interesting. Like, huh, that did not print the way I thought it should. Like the color looks
Yeah.
completely different. So
We always did a lot of good test runs on our
yeah.
prints just to make sure those colors were coming out right. Because we did, and especially depending on what paper you're working with too, that can definitely change it. And not every comic company uses the same paper for their printing. And sometimes with variants, they used a heavier stock and gloss, or they
Mhm.
sometimes substitute it for a matte. When you do the foil prints and stuff, it can look a lot different too. So it's all things you have to take in counting.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm curious, maybe one day if I color it traditionally, how accurate that might come out, or if I have to do any digital alteration to it.
Yeah, you'll have to come back and let us know.
I'll be sure to.
All right.
All right. So let's just jump right in. I think the first time I met Lee was through the Comic Underground. Shout out to my nephew Kyle and the rest of the team. But you were doing some drawings and you were there, but you were also putting up some of the art for auction.
Yes.
How does that work too? Can you talk a little bit about how they put that together and where you come
So
in? And
in that live, we had actually planned it. It was like this big like art jamboree kind of situation, right? Where we just like got a bunch of artists, everyone got an hour, and we just made a bunch of pieces. And um Cliff called it Art Palooza, so it just basically promoted a bunch of artists and whatnot. And basically I prepare a lot of pieces beforehand, and I just kind of do a little bit of everything. I'm realizing I don't like this color for her hair. Oopsies. We prepare just a little bit of everything in there. At least for me. I know sometimes people are looking for certain characters and whatnot, but it's actually kind of hard to like predict that. So what I find is that when I do characters that people don't see very often, people tend to like that a little bit more. And I like that because I like drawing fun characters. And the one that I was super proud of in that auction was the Venom Bizarro sketch cover. That it turned out amazing and it sold during that. The colors were so much fun to work on that.
yeah, it's and during that I grabbed, no surprise, a Ben Grimm Fantastic Four.
I always have to draw
Nice.
him in his detective outfit. I refuse to do it any other way.
I think it's great because it's obviously the art is striking, but it's something that you do not see every day. You don't see Ben often in the whole detective thing, so I love it. And he's even got the cigarette and the smoke and everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I loved how back in the day, whenever they needed to disguise a character, they just put him in that detective outfit, because they did that with the Ninja Turtles too. And
Yeah, they did.
I
Yeah,
love that.
it's
Yep.
just like, oh,
There's a
people
lot of
can
detectives running around in the 70s, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah. Dick Tracy.
Dick
People
Tracy.
people won't recognize you if we throw a trench coat and a
I
hat.
know.
Yeah, they won't
It's
recognize that you're an orange rocky man smoking a
yeah,
cigar.
you will not stand out because it's a very common outfit. Everybody was wearing trench coats and hats.
They
So
didn't do that with Hellboy. They just kind of gave him a trench coat.
yeah,
They
they
did
did.
that.
They did. And so from that, I think during that show is when I just asked, "Are you doing commissions?" And you said yes. So I jumped right in at the opportunity.
Hmm.
And that's kind of how we started talking and part of why we're here today. So we'll do the commission unveiling. I haven't actually taken it out, and that's been really hard to wait for
Oh
today.
no.
How long have you had it for?
A
Oh,
couple of weeks.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that's gotta be. Yeah, that's tough.
You know me. You know
I know.
me.
Yeah, I know you.
But what I'd like to do then is play a video, and maybe you can talk us through a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll preface it by saying, what I want is an invisible woman in your style.
Right.
I think that's all I said.
Yeah, you said my take on Invisible Woman, which I was so excited to do. I was so stoked to sit down and work with that, because I was like, I never really been asked to like draw a character in my style. A lot of times whenever I get presented a character, people are like, oh, can you draw this version of them or whatever? And it's like, okay. So when I finally was told like, hey, I want to see your take on this character, I was so stoked. I was like, oh my gosh, well, now I need to kind of like study up, like what are some traits about Invisible Woman that I would like to represent. And there was just this like thought in my mind where I was like, well, a lot of times when I see Invisible Woman, like, you know, portrayed when she's turning invisible, they just kind of make her blue. And I was like, I don't know. I feel like I should, portray her like literally disappearing, or like how that color would look like in a situation like that. And I started looking at, inspiration, and, the Fantastic Four was taking place in the 60s. So I looked at some of the clothing that they used to wear. And I don't know why, but I had this like, this vision of her having her hair over her eyes. I just thought that was very like, that was just sticking with me. So I did that. And that's kind of how I remember I sent you some thumbnails of the commission and how I was like
Hmm.
planning on going about it. And I was so excited because I really wanted to whip out watercolors for it to really help that, like gradient kind of going on in the commission that you will see. And even with my inks, I used a blue pen to kind of make it fade from the black to the blue to kind of like the very splotchy area towards the end. And then I went over with my colors, and then I went in again with like marker and colored pencils. It was a really fun commission to work on.
That's awesome. Yeah, and it's good that you mentioned that, because I was going to ask about that as I was putting this together. I saw some of the inks were in black and some of the inks were in blue, which I found, interesting, but makes sense as to why you did
Mhm.
it.
And in that picture, or in this video here, you can see that I'm using watercolor pencils, and I was basically using a combination of watercolor and watercolor pencils, because watercolor pencils are a little bit more opaque than like just regular watercolors, and at least in my experience. So I kind of started with the markers, and then I went from like a base watercolor paint to a watercolor pencil, and then I kind of went back in with my regular pencils to make it like fade easier, like that gradient kind of look. And also what you're seeing in this video, that sponge right there, that was like a cleaning sponge, and I like cut off an edge of it, and I just like used it to dab up all the excess water and stuff.
Yeah, I've watched this I don't know how many times while I was putting it together, and I still boggles my mind that you can
I'm
do
like
that.
fascinated by it. Yeah. I just love watching that stuff.
I really enjoyed working on that one. It was so much fun to work on. It was definitely like, my dad came in and saw me working on it, and he just thought it was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah,
it is.
I mean, it looks great in the video. I can't wait to take it out.
Oh, I can't wait for you to take it out either. I had so much fun working on her. Like, I was looking up like, old 60s outfits and just like 60s makeup. Like her eyeshadow there is inspired off like the old 60s look when it comes to like making your eyes super bold and stuff. Just overall lots of fun to work with.
Well, I'm glad you had fun, because I think, I think if the artist is doing something they like, and it reflects on the art.
Right.
So
Let's
I'm really
see.
excited. Well,
I packaged it super like crazy, so
yes, I see that, and I
you
appreciate
want to
that.
show it? I like literally like I take cardboard and I like tape it together.
Oh wow.
It's tape upon tape upon tape upon tape. So
Oh,
why don't you guys talk for a minute? Because
Okay,
it might take me a
I'll move
second.
the art back to the center stage here.
Yeah.
Take your time with that. So out of curiosity, what kind of marker are you using there?
I'm using Ohuhu, I think is how you say it. I've used
Hoo-hoo.
Copics before.
Okay.
I've been using Ohuhu a little bit more because it is a bit more affordable than Copics. Although I do really like Copics. And also I'm using them because I plan on taking them to Heroes Con. And if you guys are coming to Heroes Con, make sure to come and say hi to me. It's because they're much easier to carry.
Mhm.
and that's why I plan on bringing them. And overall, I've had a pretty good experience with Ohuhu. I've used it for a lot of my commissions. It's pretty vibrant. I dig it.
Yeah, it's coming through super nice on the camera, at least. Are those alcohol markers then?
Yes, they are alcohol markers, and usually in my coloring process, like obviously in this one, I did a lot of like watercolor art for Jay's commission. But a lot of times, what I do is I go after my markers, I go in with colored pencils to really help like bring out some of those shadows and stuff.
Okay, nice. Are you ready, Jay?
I'm
Oh,
getting
okay.
there.
I'm sorry. You can see it
Alright.
somewhat.
You can kind of see it.
Yeah, I was making sure that wasn't going anywhere.
Oh, that is
Look
awesome.
at that.
That is awesome.
That is amazing.
Oh, I'm so glad you guys like it so much. I had so much fun working on it.
No, you nailed it. There's no other word. You nailed it. I mean,
That is sweet.
I loved how those colors came out so much. I'm so glad that you guys like it.
yeah. Bax, I'll have to show it next time I see you because the camera doesn't do it justice. The colors,
Yeah,
the line work,
I can tell
the
you're in love with it.
shading. Oh man,
Oh,
That's
I'm
awesome.
so happy you like it. I had
this
no
is.
idea you were waiting to open either. I thought you already saw it.
I thought about it because it was sitting in our living room, and I actually had to switch spots with it so that I didn't keep looking at it and wanting to open it.
I'm impressed.
Man.
I don't know if I would have had that level
Oh
of
yeah, you have a
restraint.
lot of restraint.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
That's impressive. Yeah.
it was so
Um,
much fun to work on. I did do a little bit of planning before I worked on it too, because I just wanted to make sure, it was executed well. But yeah, I mean, those watercolors were so much fun to do.
The invisibleness here, it's just,
yeah.
it's
Fading away.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way it fades, it's like the light is there, but it's not. This is just incredible.
Thank you.
That's 11 by 17.
Yep.
Yeah. One thing I like I said, one thing I always saw with Invisible Woman is that they usually just kind of like drew her blue and while she's fading and stuff. And I was like, well, if you think about it, if something's turning invisible, it's like light refracting. So I felt like I needed to kind of show that where it's like this colorful kind of, disappearance.
No, it's great. And, I like that the way that she's posing, she's feminine, but she doesn't look like typical woman in distress. And I think a lot of people have that misconception about Sue. They think that because she's a woman, she's
Mhm.
like the weakest of the Fantastic Four, and she's really not.
Yeah, she's very powerful.
She's not everybody reads the comics, so I get it, but there's one issue I don't remember, but she's telling the bad guy, "You better tell me what I need to know, or I'll create an invisible field around your heart."
Mm.
And it's like, "Oh, Sue, I didn't know you had that in you, that you would kill somebody in such fashion." So thank you. I can't thank you enough. This is
Oh,
great.
it's no problem. I had so much fun working on that. As you can see here, one of my favorite things to draw is badass women. So, that is always fun for me. I recently had a red Sanja that sold that like was bought immediately because I made it where it was like her sword was in front of her and all you could see was her eye and her hair. And there was blood all over the sword. It was so much fun
Nice.
to work on.
Yeah, I think I saw that. But I saw it really quick because it was a Thursday stream, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was the one to reveal the cover.
That's right. So I saw that. I got the cover.
Yay! I'm so glad.
But I couldn't stay because Thursdays I have bowling, so I had to cut it short, which is unfortunate because I really like to watch you work, and
Thank you.
I'm sure I missed some other cool covers and some other cool art. So
Well, Bowling's really cool. Like I swim.
If only I were any good at it, it'd be better.
It's okay. I love video games and I'm not the best at it, so
Oh, we love video games on this podcast.
I could see
Yeah.
that you have the little Mega Man sprites.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
That was
That's
Vex's creation.
I love
one of
that.
one of my favorite franchises of all time.
So did you guys see that Star Fox announcement?
Yes.
We are very excited about that. I did promise to some people I would draw Kat and Crystal. I know Crystal's not technically in that game, but I still want to draw her. So
Yeah, why not?
Right.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's been a while since I've played a Star Fox game, so
my
um,
boyfriend has an N64, so we plugged up some Star Fox in there and
nice.
we played it. So I'm not good at it by any means. I am horrible at it. Don't ever trust me with an airplane.
Good to know.
Yep.
Forever in a situation to not put me in the pilot seat.
That game was so tough.
Oh, it
64.
was. It really was. They were not playing around about old games. Me and my dad, we played, I think it was Contra, and I was doing horrible. I was doing awful.
Yeah, even with the Infinite Lives, there were a lot of people that could not finish that game.
Oh, yeah. It's a hard game.
Yeah, like the old Mega Mans were insane too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took so long to beat those.
Oh my gosh. That's actually so later in the year I actually am going to be at Anime Blues Con. And that's a Memphis Comic-Con. It's anime themed, but I do plan on having some video game stuff there. And I do have a couple of sketch covers that I've been saving, and one of them is Shanty, the half genie, and I was able to snag one of those, and I've been saving that for that con because I'm sure someone there will appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I did grow up with Shanty. I had a lot of fun playing Risky's Revenge.
Nice. I'm playing through Metroid Prime 4 right
Nice.
now. Yeah. Play Metroid.
Speaking of video games, hold on, I have to show this. I'm obligated now. Hold on. So hold on, I'm like away. Back in the day, there was a Sonic comics, and they were by Archie. And I grew up with them, and I went to a Comic-Con, and I gotta say I did make a little bit of a not so wise decision on my money, but look at this. I'm gonna pull out my
nice.
This is from 2003, and I love Sally Acorn so much. Like I actually dressed up as her at one point. And I've met some of the comic artists for these series, specifically Stephen Butler was one I've met. And it was so funny when I met Stephen Butler for the first time because he was at a con I was working at, and a lot of people know Stephen for like his Fantastic Four art and, you know, his Captain America work and stuff. And then on his banner, he has his Sonic art, and it's like in the corner. And I'm just walking by in the morning, and I'm like, oh my God, I know this guy from this comic series I used to read as a kid. And everybody hates this comic series, but I love it. And I went over to him. We had a great conversation. Really nice guy.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
It's so funny too. Like, yeah, as a kid, things just hit you differently, and then it just sticks with you, and then you have this nostalgia for it.
Oh my gosh,
even if it's like universally, you know, not liked, you still just have like a fondness for it.
Yeah, I don't care how much that series was hated. It's like it was definitely one of my biggest inspirations to start drawing too. Was like I was seeing all this cool Sonic art, and I was like, I have to draw just like these comics.
That's great.
Yeah, nostalgia is a powerful tool, man.
Yeah. I have a lot of funny comic experiences. Like I said, one of the, you know, my family was super into comics. They let me watch all the movies and stuff. But at the time, I was in Catholic school, and I would go over to my grandparents' house, and my papa let me watch all these movies. And little fun fact about me, I love Hellboy. I've met Ron Perlman. I'm very like a big Hellboy fan, and that started when I was 5 years old. And I watched, or I was like maybe I was in the first grade, so I was maybe a little bit older, but I watched the Hellboy series at my grandparents' house, and then I went back to Catholic school the next day and went to the nuns and told them about this awesome movie I had just watched, and they were not stoked. So they were not a fan of Anung Unranma, unfortunately. And I was confused because I was like, he's fighting demons. He's on our side. Like, what are we?
Yeah.
On our side, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, he has a rosary. Like, you know.
He's got a rosary. I'm just trying to picture these nuns just being like, yeah, Hellboy's awesome. Like,
oh my gosh. They were so old too. Like,
Yeah.
they were like, oh my gosh, they had to be like 70 at the youngest, and they were just staring at me like, just, you know, there's like this little first grade girl in her little Catholic school uniform, probably missing some teeth, and I know I had a really bad bob haircut, and you know, it was like, you know, I'm just sitting here just raving about this red demon and the blue fish like, and the pyromaniac and Nazis. Like,
Yeah, that's a trick. He's real good. He's good. He's fighting evil Germans.
evil Nazis and demon Nazis. I mean, like, how could you not support the man? Oh my gosh, Ron Perlman was a hoot when I met him too. He was so fun. I actually got a commission really recently signed by him for Cliff, and when I did, I was standing in line, and the hotel he was staying at caught on fire. So he was late, and he came, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so glad you're okay. And he's like, yeah, I was in there rescuing people. And I was just like, okay. He was so funny. So did you guys ever have like a comic that really impacted you growing up that you liked?
Well, yes. I think a couple of them. You know, for me, it was always Spider-Man.
Mm.
Spider-Man and Batman was what I read most growing up. And I think Spidey was, well, not Spidey, Peter Parker was relatable
Mm-hmm.
in that, you know, he was a high school kid. He had all this sort of problems. He was always broke.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's relatable. He had terrible luck with women. So that's why. And Batman, there's nothing relatable because
he's a billionaire.
I'm not a billionaire. You know, I
Not
don't
yet.
go out at night beating people up. But he's not super. He's just smart, and I like that.
Was it the mask that did it too? I'm asking for non-specific reasons here.
The mask definitely helped. You know, but I think it was just the fact that he's smart, and he was always like one step ahead of everyone.
Oh yeah.
So
what about you, Bax?
Yeah. Actually the same too, to be honest with you. For different reasons. When I was growing up, I was having like a really hard time reading or like finding any reason to read. Because like all the stuff that they gave me in school is like, hey, this is boring and I have no interest in this.
Right.
And so my mom actually brought me to a comic book shop because she's like, oh, well, you know, like I love the cartoons and stuff.
Right.
And like that was kind of like my first experience seeing all these comic books with like my favorite heroes on them. And so I got to pick out a couple, and I picked out Batman comics, and that was really my motivator to start reading, because it was like I have to figure out what's going on in these pages. Like I can't just I could make it up in my head for like a little bit, but then like I actually, you know, I was motivated to like sit down and like figure it out. So
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
yeah. So yeah, Batman, and then Spider-Man just later on. Just love the story.
Right.
It was great character, great writing. The Secret Wars 8 behind me.
Mm-hmm.
That was um that was one of my grails, just because, like, growing up as a kid, I'd see that on the rack, and it was just like, it was a top shelf book, and I never had enough money for it, but it was like, I was dying to know, like, what in the world is going on with Spider-Man? Why does he have this? And he looks so awesome in, like, the black suit.
Right.
And so, I couldn't find out until later on what that was all about. But yeah, just cool character.
That's
So
so
those
awesome.
two, yeah, yep,
For me,
So
I
yeah, I was
really
gonna
like,
ask.
yeah.
yeah, for me, I really liked Hellboy, obviously. And then I read the comics when I got older, and it made me really appreciate the series more. And it made me also realize that Del Toro movies are so different from the comics as well. Like, they're just a different tone and everything. But I also really liked the Max. So when Sam Keith unfortunately passed, I was very upset about that because he was one of my favorite writers. And I love the Max. I have several of its issues. And also when I was a kid, I did, obviously based on my style, I did get introduced to anime and manga. And my starter was Sailor Moon.
Nice.
Um, I obviously, and it was so funny because at the time I was like, I have to draw like Sailor Moon. Obviously, I don't draw like Sailor Moon anymore. And I think it was after I got introduced to like Akira and Shaman King and Ranma and a Half and Yuritsei Yatsura and stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, there's all these so cool styles.
Yeah.
And also another story, I actually ended up really liking Green Lantern as a kid, and my grandfather let me watch the Justice League show, but that Justice League show had John Stewart in it, that Green Lantern.
Yep.
And so I was like, trained on that Green Lantern. So then my grandfather took me to go watch that really bad Green Lantern movie with Ryan
Oh, with Ryan
Reynolds.
Reynolds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw Hal Jordan and I was just confused. I was like, who is this guy? I was like, this is not John Stewart.
Yep.
Yeah, not Ryan Reynolds' best moment.
Not, he still references it. So you know what? At least
I
he
know.
took it on the chin.
I know that was the one funny thing in what was it, Deadpool 2? At the end of Deadpool 2, he goes back and in time and
Yeah.
kind of shoots himself as he's reading the final script for
Or
Green
something
Lantern.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, poor
I
Ryan.
never saw that one. I never
It's
saw
not
Oh
good.
boy,
You're not
Green
you're
missing out
Lantern.
on much.
Yeah.
You're a lucky man.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I was subjected to it because my grandfather was like, "Ooh, Green Lantern movie. Let's go watch it."
Yeah.
Yeah, not great. All right. So I also went through your IG. I'm not stalking, I swear. And I pulled some pieces with your permission.
Uh-huh.
Can we go through them and you kind of talk us through what they are
Yeah,
and your
of
thought process?
course. Of course. So this one you're seeing right here is actually that variant cover, my first one. That's the one for the Pale Knight. And that one was so much fun to work on. I did not know I'd be coloring it. And so, fun fact about this, I actually submitted 2 different coloring styles for this. Like, I had 2 different types of colors I sent him. And apparently, there was like a huge argument with the publishers about like what color like scheme they were going to go with. And it took the writer getting involved to be like, I like this one, and that was the end all be all. And we were trying so hard to get it styled like so. In the moon up there, I actually had the number 13 in Roman numerals because we were trying to get it styled like the Death Tarot card. And and they said, hey, let's not do that because there's not really like a tarot theme in the Pale Knight. And I was like, true. But we were trying hard. Cliff wanted that tarot theme so bad. So it was definitely a really fun. I actually still have the inks here. I kept those inks because that was my first one ever.
No, it's really cool how's the the Grim Reaper and how the cape's flowing and everything.
And I actually, when I was doing that, so I just little fun fact about me. I do like actually study a little bit about iconography and stuff. And when I was drawing this Reaper, now I did have to keep it like in theme with the Pale Knight, and their Reaper is a male. But I did make sure to include marigolds because in a lot of cultures they use marigolds for like Day of the Dead and stuff like that. So he is holding
Oh,
like lilies and marigolds,
Hmm.
and I did include that because I was like, that's something that symbolizes death.
interesting. I didn't know that, but I love that you spent time putting those details in there.
Yeah.
Did that
Yeah, 'cause
Jay, being familiar with Day of the Dead, did that resonate with you? Did
yeah,
you fun
the
with?
the marigolds indeed resonated right away. Um, because that's it's not quite a marigold. That's in Mexico. It's called cempasúchil. It's the flower. It's very similar to marigold, but definitely, it has a theme and it's very tied to Dia de los Muertos in back home.
Cool. Yeah, that's an awesome piece.
Yeah, it was super fun to work on.
There he is.
There's your
Oh,
Hellboy.
so I have a fun story about this one too. This is when I first met Ron Perlman. As you can see, it's signed. So what I did was is that I brought him two pieces. They were both themed after tarot cards. This one is Death, and that's the one I kept, and the other one was the Emperor. And basically, I brought him to him at when I was meeting him, and I said, you can choose one to keep, but the other one you have to sign for me. And he chose the Emperor, and the Emperor one had Rasputin behind. I'm not the Emperor, I'm sorry, the Devil. I was getting that confused with the commission I did. The Devil, and it had Rasputin behind him and like engulfed in flames, and he loved it and he kept it. And so Ron has like a matching like piece of art with me, which is awesome.
That's awesome.
That's very cool. Yeah. Great story.
I loved. I really liked that scene of him carrying the dead guy around, the dead Russian guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a noose around his neck, no
Yeah, with the
less.
noose around his neck. He was also really mean to him too. He wasn't nice.
Yeah. A little known fact, I also really like Hellboy. I don't collect a lot of him, but I really enjoy him.
Oh yeah, I'm a huge fan of him. I actually have the Monster Anibius, which is like the 2,000 paged one that they released for a little bit. I don't know
Mm,
if it's still out, but I did get it for Christmas one year. I like how Hellboy explores a lot of different cultures, folklore. Um,
hmm.
I always thought Mike Mignola did a very good job with that.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes tied to, different cultures and
Hmm.
different myths and legends. So it's nice how it ties all of that because I love that stuff.
Yeah, and you said you used to live in Mexico City, correct?
Yes.
So they had, I know that you're probably familiar, they had like a whole like series where he went to Mexico and he like got drunk and like turned into a chimp at one point when he got cursed. I don't like,
He's
and
got the book. He's gonna pull the book out.
he's got the book.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I love that series so much. Oh yes, look at that. Oh, it looks so good. Oh, that is so amazing. I love that. Is that the one? Yes, that's the wrestling match
Yep.
one.
That's where he when he goes to the luchas.
The luchas, yes. I love the story when he gets drunk and marries like the dead woman,
Hmm.
and then he wakes up the next day and he's like, I want a divorce, and he like kills her. Like, and he's just
Yep. And there's like a Mayan zombie there.
yes.
Aztec zombie.
Oh my gosh, I
Very
But
love
yeah,
that
cool.
series
he
so
goes and he goes to the luchas, gets drunk,
much.
throws a fit, marries a woman. It's crazy, but it's great. I love it.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then Then on the back, there's a pyramid. Sorry for the glare.
Oh, that's so cool. Mike, you could tell with that one, Mike had so much fun writing it. Like
Yeah.
it was such a crazy series. I loved it so much.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that one out.
Oh my
I really
gosh.
haven't read too much Hellboy, so
And the
Oh,
best
you're
thing
missing
about
out.
Hellboy, in my
Yeah.
opinion, is that it's so easy to jump into. Like you don't have to have much context. Like it's just demon dude
Yeah.
fighting other demons.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, that's a good thing about some books like this. Because at work we have this inclusion groups, and one of them is like fandom. So they wanted to talk about different culture things and pop culture references and things like that. And of course, being Free Comic Book Day, I talked about Free Comic Book Day, and there were some people asking like, well, where can I jump in? And it's like, well, if you want to jump into Spider-Man and Batman, who have 63 years of history and almost 90, it's going to be really tough. But if you tell me what kind of things you like, I can probably point you in some directions. And one of them was Hellboy, because it's so easy to jump into. And, there's not the whole almost a century where the stories and all convoluted, because there's been reboots and retcons and
Right.
multiverses, and unfortunately it's not just like the MCU where you jump in and people think like, oh, this is how it's in the comics. No.
Right?
nope.
Yeah, I loved Hellboy for that. I loved how beginner friendly it is. Like, and whenever people talk about like, oh, because sometimes a real criticism I see for comics is that people are like, oh, with like the MCU or like DC, I don't know where to start and stuff like you were saying. And I was just like, hey, if you want to have a comic where you can literally pick up any copy of it and just know what's going on, Hellboy is the perfect series.
Mhm. Indeed it is.
And
But
it
what
just
types
talks.
of? Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead. You go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You're the guest.
Oh, sorry. So also, like, I was gonna add on, it covers so many different cultures and their backgrounds and folklore that it's just so interesting. You get to learn so much. Like, so I actually kind of got in an argument with my parents one time because over Baba Yaga, because they were like, "No, Baba Yaga's John Wick," and I was like, "No, Baba Yaga is a Russian folklore and it's a woman." And I know that from Hellboy.
Yep. And then I'm gonna do a little quick screen share because you're gonna like this one too.
Ooh, I'm ready to see it.
Hopefully this works.
Oh my goodness, that looks the Lobster John. Oh my gosh.
Hellboy against Lobster Johnson in the Ring of Death.
That's so good. And the art is so amazing for it. It looks like those old pulp horror movie like posters. It just looks great.
Yep.
That was one thing I loved about Hellboy, the cast of artists that they always got on them. Like they always did so phenomenal with the series. Oh, that's so good.
So, sorry, Inception.
Yeah.
How do I shut this
I'm gonna
off?
hide that. There we go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, let's go back to.
Not only the first live drawing, but this is like the most technical we've gotten.
All right, so now that I've made a mess of things.
Ooh, that one was fun. That was kind of like just a little fun project I did. Like I mentioned, or I don't know if I mentioned it here actually. I work as a graphic designer as my day job. So I had some fun and used like an actual picture of a skeleton and like kind of messed with the gradient maps and stuff and then like drew over it like graffiti style. This was back in 2024 around MonsterCon and stuff. You'll see throughout my art, I really like death related things. Matter of fact, here is a death sketch card I have right here. Death from DC, that is. And I also have.
Oh, hold on. You want to show that? Sorry. Do you want to show that one more time?
Yeah, here's death right here. And then I have Ghost Rider as well. Nice. I just love.
Oh, that's a cool Ghost Rider.
I love everything like death related, which is why I got to do that variant cover. I was freaking out because I was like, oh my god, like that's the thing I like. I don't know. Skeletons have always interested me. I always liked like how shapy they are, I guess. So and I think at this time when I made this piece, I was kind of responding to like the rise in AI art. And, you know, it's not really ever going to go away. But I will say in recent years, I've learned a lot of people like comic artists, like, you know, regular traditional art as well. But it was kind of my way of saying, like, hey, you know, you can generate an image all you want, but it's not going to replace, you know, this human soul that lives in all of us. And as much as you might want it to.
Yep, I like it. Good message.
Thank
I
you.
love it. I love the message, and I think
Yep.
it applies to that and a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
Also,
Yep.
I apologize while I'm drawing if my entire hand takes up like the thing. I'm left-handed,
You.
which was another thing the nuns didn't like about me.
Oh,
I bet. Yeah. Yeah. No, I also and my wife have a thing for skeletons.
Awesome.
So aside from my new favorite piece, which is the Invisible Woman here, I think this is my favorite piece from you on Instagram. I think
Oh,
it's just
I appreciate that.
so vibrant. The colors, the anatomy, the
Yeah.
medium, the message. I think this is great. I really, really like this one.
One thing, you know, I feel like a lot of times in my depictions of death when I drew it, like with the pale night cover in this, like I really like to make it super colorful. And I think it's just because like a lot of times when people do death, they make it super like gloomy and sad. And I'm like, it's not always that though. Like, you know, depending on, you know, where you look and stuff, it can actually be a very beautiful thing. And that's why I like depicting it that way because I think that, you know, there are different ways we can view that. And that's definitely, you know, a big prerogative I hold in my personal life too.
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree. And again,
yep.
coming from that cultural background, we
Hmm.
have a day where we celebrate the death because it's a celebration of a different life. It's not an ending, it's a new beginning. So,
Right. Well, I'm so glad you like that.
yeah, no, this is my favorite. Do you ever make a print of this one? You let me know because I'll buy
I
it.
will. I will let you know.
We have another
Oh my gosh, that's a
scary
self-portrait.
looking.
That's like actually a picture of my face, by the way. That I once again I was messing around for a minute in 2024. I was getting like super experimental in my art, and I just kind of would take photos and photo bash them and draw skeletons and do all this kind of graffiti work going on in them. And some of my later works too, I even like took pictures and I printed them off and then scanned them back in so it had this like really weird grainy texture. But this was definitely a really fun one. Let me look at it a little bit fuller. um so actually, there's a lot of like scanned in stuff here. So in the background is actually a piece of paper that I took Sharpie to, and I just scribbled all over it, and I scanned it back in, and it made that really cool texture. And I actually
Hmm.
used that like a lot in my college projects and stuff because it made my life so much easier. Um, so yeah, I had a lot of fun. I don't know, I just like I love swirls. Matter of fact, hey guys, I'm graduating tomorrow, so um I'll show you guys this. This is my graduation cap. And as you can see, I did a lot of like swirls on that too, on the tiger, because we're the
That is
tigers.
sweet. Okay.
So
That's
that's
sweet.
my graduation cap. And I just went in and did all these swirls. And the camera may not show them, but there's swirls inside the tail and the stripes and stuff too. It's one of my favorite shapes to work
Yeah, that's
with.
beautiful.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm like moving stuff. Okay. All right. We move that
Sorry.
back.
Let me
No,
just.
you're
We're
good.
fighting over
You're good.
the layouts
Yep.
here.
Yeah, but you will see throughout my Instagram that like skeletons, death related things. My mascot is a crow, the Ghost Raider. Like my mascot is a crow. So, you know, like that's just kind of how it is.
Perfect. Yeah.
That was bought by somebody. It has a great home now. That piece right there is actually, I want to say 18 by 24. It's
Oh,
a
this
big
big
Oh
then.
piece.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I drew on the floor when I did that. I was upstairs on the floor drawing that, and that was only made with ballpoint pen and a Sharpie.
Wow.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, it was so I took that to a festival down here in Memphis called Cooper Young Festival, and I had it hanging up on the side of like this big little panel I have out there to show off pieces, and people were just stopping and gawking at it. They loved it. And but it has a home now, and a very happy owner. His name is Frank. He loves that ghostwriter so much.
Yeah, this is sick, and I'm sure.
Yeah.
How long did you think it took you?
Oh, it took me, I want to say it took me and like work as in like hours, it took me like 2 days. It took a very long time
Okay.
because I just used that ballpoint pen and that Sharpie to really ham in those details.
How many
Yes.
how many pens did you go through?
Sharpie surprisingly only one. But the ballpoints I went through, I want to say 3.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't
That's a lot of
survive.
ink.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ballpoints are fun to work with.
You
They're
get
very
that cool
undeniable.
scratch effect, you know. You can do a lot of texturing with that.
Right. They're super fun to work with.
Yeah.
I will take you guys' word for it.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry. My bird was like being weird. Oh yeah, that's a commission. That went to a very happy owner. Uh, excuse me. That is one of my favorite drawings of Black Cat I've done. And this guy who bought this, he has a Black Cat wall, and a lot of it's just
nice.
my Black Cat art. So, but I wanted to make Spidey like one of those little cat toys. I don't know what they're called, but you know, the ones that are on the string
Yeah,
on
the
stick.
stick. Yeah.
And so there's a funny story regarding this. So I made the mistake of live streaming me working on this commission, and I was over on TikTok when I did that. And usually when I live stream my art, it doesn't really hit anybody's feeds, and I'm used to only having like 7 people join, and just like it's usually the people I know. Well, that one made like everyone's For You page, and I had like 200 people watching. And we know Black Cat is known for one thing, and and people were going nuts in the comments. I mean, like it was back to back, like just commenting on one certain thing in this photo, and I was like, oh god. And it's just me running the stream, and I'm like, gosh, I don't really know how to respond to this. Like,
Yeah, it sounds overwhelming. I would be overwhelmed by that.
it was funny, but it was also like, oh my gosh, literally everyone is talking about one thing here. And this was before she was introduced into Marvel Rivals, by the way. So I'm sure the response is only going to be worse now. So yeah, that commissioner, he also has a she done by me as well, and she's really fun to draw.
Nice.
Awesome.
Oh, that was another fun one. Magic. I was actually working on this commission while I was working on the Susan one too. And Magic is really always super fun to draw. I love doing the inks in her. Her boots were super fun to work on. And this commissioner specifically like sent me a specific cover of her, I'm pretty sure of, where they were like, I want something like this. And I was like, all right, you like all that yellow. So I did that. And man, I wish sometimes the photos would get like some of the colored pencil work, because I went in like really heavy with some colored pencils to really help bring out her skin tone, because she had so much black on her, and it just meshed so well. Magic's always super fun to draw.
Yeah, she's cool.
Super, super fun. And I'm glad that she got popular again due to Marvel Rivals, but like I always liked how, you have all these X-Men and they all have like superpowers and stuff, and then Magic's just kind of like I'm an angry Viking. Like I have demonic powers, but I have this giant sword, and that works just fine.
Yep.
I like that in a character.
Yeah, I like how she's very direct. Doesn't really give a crap.
Right. I think it's the
So
same reason why I like Hellboy.
yeah, they're in that sense they're very similar, and of course they're both related to hell. Hey, what do you know?
Exactly. Feels like there's like a common theme here.
I believe there is. I believe there is.
Now we just need her in like a Libre match, and then we're good.
I don't know if she would like that, but
maybe she
that
could
would.
have a killer Libre outfit.
Hey, maybe there's an idea for a commission.
Right. Who wants to commission me for a Libre magic? Like,
Jay might do that.
I might do that. Don't joke with me. Don't pull at my heartstrings.
Yeah.
So this has a fun story attached to it. I did this for an art live, and actually it was for Art Palooza, and I did a $5 auction for that. So I started the bid at $5 just to kind of see like, where it would go. And people loved this. It went to Kate. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Kate Comics, and they loved it so much. And I think everybody liked the shirt. I think that's what really sold it.
It's a nice touch.
And I don't know. I had this idea. I was like, what if she was so drunk that she went to a different entire continuity? And then that Superman Spider-Man comic came out. So maybe I was onto something.
Yeah, definitely. Did you make this one after the trailer came out then?
Yes. The trailer had just came out, I think, around that time, and that's why I remember specifically Cliff was like, well, you have Supergirl because the trailer just came out, and I was like, well, I will try to whip something up. The only thing I really was, a little off-putted by was the cover I was working on was one of those glossy covers, so it doesn't do too well with marker, and it made her look a little washed out because it was like not holding the color very well.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, I don't know why some of them started releasing sketch covers that have that weird gloss sheen to that. I'm like, that we kind of don't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it turned out great though. I think it looks really good.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
A lot of people got a hoot out of it.
Yeah.
And so speaking of Supergirl, next week, guys, or is it next week? I don't remember. May 19th. There we go. May 19th, I'm having a art off. I'm having an art battle. It's called Split Panels, and I'll be going against the amazing Angela, and we are both drawing Supergirl, and I have a wonderful idea for my Supergirl that it's going to be a surprise. So make sure to tune in.
All right. Send me the info, and I'll be sure to post it in the description for this video.
Awesome, I will.
Yep. Is that going to be on Instagram?
Yeah, it'll be over on Instagram, and it's going to be kind of hosted like how the comic reveals and the art lives are hosted over there. Okay. Except we're going to be drawing it live, and we're kind of like art battling each other. So we're super excited about that.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, and you have an opportunity to buy the art too, like the art we're currently working on in that as well. So super fun.
I'll be sure to tune in.
Awesome.
Me too.
I'm so stoked for that. Ooh, Deadpool. I worked on that piece at a library con. We had a little local library con to help support the local libraries. And I worked on that Deadpool live. And it was so much fun doing that because all of the kids were like stopping by and watching me work on it live. Deadpool's also just always such a fun character to draw. And I want to do him more. My dad has specifically requested for me to draw him with like a My Little Pony, which I think if I'm going to draw him with any of them, it has to be Pinkie Pie because they both have that fourth wall breaking mechanic. So
I'm not familiar with My Little Pony. So.
I'm not either. Yeah.
I grew up on some My Little Pony. It's really funny. That's kind of what got my account traction, weirdly enough. I made a My Little Pony joke and everybody just loved it, and I was just like, wow, okay. Yeah, but that has been a request, so I might make that in the future, to be completely honest.
I think it would be almost as good as Magic in a luchador outfit.
Yeah, I gotta make so I have to write down a bunch of concepts of just like what's something weird I can draw. Like, you
Yeah,
know.
that well, that one should top your list. Magic and luchador.
All right, noted. Oh yeah. Oh, that one was at the Art Live. Oh my gosh, I fell in love with that piece. I'm so happy it's at a good home. So this was really funny because I did this before they announced Venom would be in like the next issue. And I was just like, there's no way they can do a Spider-Man comic without Venom. And then I started thinking, like, because originally I was gonna do like Spider-Man fighting Superman on this, and then I really started thinking about it. And I was like, wait, what if I like combined, like, what if I had two characters, like how Superman and Spider-Man are kind of like, you know, I guess like complementary versions of themselves. What if I had that with other characters? And I was like, oh my gosh, Venom Bizarro, like Venomized Bizarro, because like Bizarro is that like opposite of
Mhm.
Superman.
Mhm.
And that piece there is a, I believe, I want to say 9 by 14 like cover, or it's 11 by 14 cover. It's super huge. It's big, and it was so much fun to color. I had so much fun coloring, like, you know, Bizarro turning into Venom, and the colors just turned out amazing in that piece.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous cover.
Thank
I
you.
really like what you did with the purples and the blacks. Like, just I feel like you knocked that out of the park. You hit it, and it's a really cool concept that I'd never thought of before either. It's just like, oh yeah, like it, that makes total sense. Like, yeah, Superman, Spider Man, they do complement each other, and then what's the opposite of that?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, and like Venom is basically like Bizarro Spider-Man in a
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
He's just as comedically evil. Like, you know, it's like
right.
that was something I always talked about. Like, Venom's one of my favorite characters ever, and I was like, I just like the fact that he just hates Spider-Man. He doesn't really have a reason. He just does, you know. Like, he just
Yeah,
like very much like, I mean, I know the Tom Holland movies kind of gave him a reason, but it was only because Eddie Brock hated him. It wasn't because like he had a reason.
yep.
Yeah,
I
no,
finished
this
the markers on this bad boy right here. I do want to get my colored pencils, but I might wait on that. But
Let's take a peek.
yeah, this is Clark, Nebraska right here. All the marker done on that. And what I would usually do from here is I would take my colored pencils and just really start working in these shadows and making it where they're super deep in there.
Nice.
Thank you.
that's really cool.
That's what I did with that Venom too. The way that those colors, if you want to go back to that, the way that those colors transition was because I really worked in like a lot of colored pencil to make it stand out and have that like nice, I guess, kind of gradient look. And one challenge was that like you said, the purples, like Venom and Bizarro are both like very purple characters. So
Hmm.
I had to like figure out how to translate that without them mixing too much where you couldn't really tell what was happening.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
it's an
the
interesting challenge.
yeah, the contrast and the colors are really vibrant. I really, really like this piece too. Um, and every time I look at it, I keep finding new stuff that I didn't see before. So
Thank you. I actually do have another one of these covers. I think they just re-released like the big ones again. I got it at Free Comic Book Day, and I plan on doing another like, you know, character kind of collab, and I will just let you know. It's gonna be at Heroes Con. I'm gonna do Scream and not Scream, I'm sorry, Screech, and the Silver Banshee together.
Okay,
ah,
nice.
that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Last but not least, the
Obviously,
Florida
latest
Hippopotamus
variant cover.
Cocaine Massacre.
I cannot wait to get these in the mail. I'm just gonna let you know, like, I am so stoked. I have to wait until August, unfortunately, but I do. I'm so stoked. So the little like background on this cover, those clouds you see in the background are actually inked. I basically what I did was is that when I took them into Photoshop, I like duplicated the ink layer twice, and then I like erased her from that background, and I made that like nice blue color, those
Mm.
like blue lines, and I loved how it turned out. Um, and I wanted to make it like super wacky. And one thing I really like about this series is that they have very like 60s artwork. You know, like I looked at their work and I'm just like, this screams like so 60s and 70s disco, you know, and I just really wanted to replicate that with some of the patterns and stuff I was seeing. Um, and of course, I couldn't not do this cover without making it super colorful, because that's exactly, I think that's why they got me to do it, because they were like, hey, she loves really crazy colors. Get her to work on the cocaine one. Like
I really love knowing the fact now of your how you gravitate towards swirls. So seeing that implemented here is kind of fun.
yeah.
Just from our
Also,
conversation.
my mom was the first to find out I was working on this, and I was like, "Aren't you proud of me, Mom? I'm working on cocaine hippos." And which she was stoked, by the way. She
Yeah.
loves like weird, crazy movies. So when she heard I was working on a title like this, she was so excited. But it did make an awkward conversation with my boss, because I did tell her I had to leave work early because I was having a cover reveal, and she's like, "Oh, what for?" And I was like, "Oh, please don't judge me when I say this title."
That's funny.
Yep.
She just
And the
kind of gave
hippo,
me a look.
yeah, I'm sure the hippo does look coked out a little.
Yeah,
So
that's my friend liked it so much.
How would he do a line?
Oh, sorry again?
How would a hippo do a line to get all coked up?
I don't know. I mean, I guess according to the comic, they ingested it, which I think just and realistically would make you sick. But I don't know. Maybe hippos are different than us. Also, like another thing, I'm pretty sure I'm on a watch list now, because I was looking up like this title, and then I was also looking up like how to draw a pistol like upwards and stuff, and like and what shells look like when they're shot. And I'm sure somebody at the FBI was like, "Huh, flag this one." Like,
yeah, maybe like,
I don't know.
the
There's
guns, the cocaine, who knows?
the hippos.
The
Like,
hippos, yeah, what's going on here?
Something's wrong.
Yep.
Yeah, but it was
That's great.
so much fun to work on. I mean, like when I found out I was working on this title, I was so excited. I was the story is that I was with my boyfriend, and I got contacted to do it, and we were out in public, and I had my sketchbook with me, and I stopped him and I was like, "Hey babe, I'm gonna have to draw this real quick. I'm gonna have to draw some thumbnails like right now." Like, so like I sat down and drew him. And I sent them right to Cliff, and he was like, "All right, we're getting this submitted."
Nice. Well, congrats. by
Thank
the way,
you.
on getting that cover. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, it was so much fun. And then apparently, like, congrats to the team working on this too, because apparently they've been doing like killing with this comic series, which I don't know how you couldn't. You walked into a comic shop and you saw like a title like that. How could you not pick it up? You know?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
for sure.
So I love the series. I love everything I've seen out of it. So I'm so happy I own a foiled copy.
Awesome.
I think
Well,
my phone might be dying here soon. So
I was gonna ask.
Okay. Yeah.
We're over the
Um,
hour, and
that's what I had for art. So yeah, I think we should probably get close to close so that Lee doesn't just disappear off our feed.
right?
yeah, it is. It's been a great conversation.
Oh, I'm so happy.
And yeah, do you have any closing comments? Anything you want to say?
Anything you
Where
want
can
to
people find
plug?
you? Let's plug everything.
So if you like my art, guys, make sure to follow my Instagram, Alleyway Arts. That's spelled ALLEEWAYARTZ. That's where I will be posting most of any of my comic art. That's usually where you're going to see all my updates for all that. I do have a TikTok under the same name. That's more for silly stuff. So if you want to go see that, you can go there. I don't have a Twitter. I deleted my Twitter. I'm free. So I do not have a Twitter. um, but yeah, I think some of my closing statements, to any aspiring artists that are watching this, keep doing what you're doing, man. I've been doing it for a very long time, even though I'm, a little bit younger, but I've been working on it for a very long time, and that means you can too. And just because you might be thinking that it's a bleak kind of way, that's not the way to think. There's a lot more positivity in the art community that you might think, and a lot of it's offline. I'm going to be completely honest with you. A lot of it is offline, but I will also say the comic community I've been surrounded with online has been nothing but phenomenal as well. And all the artists I've been around are nothing but phenomenal, and I love them so much. And just nothing but positive people. And I really want to thank you guys for letting me be on this stream and just kind of talk about my work and stuff. I feel like sometimes we don't always get the opportunity to do that. So super fun, and I'm so glad you loved your commission so much.
Oh, love doesn't even quite begin to describe it. It's amazing.
Thank you. And you know what? We'll work on that magic with the Libre mask.
You guys heard it. It lives on YouTube forever now. So
right. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Lee, for joining us. And
thank you.
Thanks everyone for sticking around and hanging out with us tonight, or even hanging out with us throughout the rewatch. We're glad to have you here. And if you're not following the channel yet, feel free to. If you like our content, we'd be glad to have you as part of our community. So with that being said, Jay,
in the meantime,
keep flipping those pages.
We'll see you on the next issue.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.